Should I start this? Audacity.
Yeah. I already unmuted us. This is gonna be a strange start.
Sweet. What a great way to start this.
Yeah.
We're pros here.
Whoa, calm. Hey there, kitty. So yeah, this is not our usual start because this is a treat for the live show audience. We messed up our start, but that's okay. That's okay. So normally what I do is I mute us and we continue chatting in the background. And when the music ends, I let everybody know that, okay, music is over, we are going live. And yeah, I unmute us. But for some reason, Lotus decided to, after I unmuted everybody, Lotus decided to just whisper into the microphone stuff.
I was being stealthy. I stealth in real life as good as I stealth in video games.
I mean, see, the process behind that is beautiful because you whispered into the mic thinking that we can hear it, but for some reason the stream wouldn't pick it up even though we are hearing the same input.
Oh god.
So anyways, about that professional start to the podcast with the intro.
Now we have
Tales
to do
of
another
heroin.
7 minutes.
Tales of Tamriel.
I might just leave this, I don't know, somehow into the show, maybe edit
Put it as a
in
blooper
there.
at the end.
Yeah, or just leave it in the beginning for people. I don't know. All right, here we go. Greetings, weary travelers, come, warm yourself by the fire, and let us regale you with mighty tales, tales of adventure, tales of heroism, and of course, tales of Tamriel. I'm your host, Arkaniir Silvershield, and I'm back with my two amazing co-hosts, starting with the man, the myth, the legend, the dungeon breaker, LotusOfDoom. How's it going, Lotus?
I'm good. I'm very good.
That's good to hear. I suppose we got some tales from you tonight as well, and some news that we are going to get into, some fun stuff regarding QuakeCon. But before we get to all those, the joy of the show, the Giggle Queen herself, who, if I left the blooper at the beginning of this show, I have not yet decided as we start, you heard giggling, HyperPixie Gaming herself. How's it going, Pixie?
Going great.
That's, again, good to hear. Right, so last week, we didn't have Pixie, and we didn't have much news, so we did like a short-ish, almost 2-hour episode. But today, we do have some stuff to talk about. Mainly, QuakeCon is right around the corner. It's almost there. It's that time of the year. It's yet again being, it's an online event due to obvious reasons. But since this is Bethesda's, year in, year out, amazing Bethesda-focused event that we get a lot of Elder Scrolls news as well as every other Bethesda-related thing, it's fun times for us and generally gives us a lot to talk about. So this is gonna start on August 19, Thursday, next week, or rather this week as this show goes live. And run until Saturday 21, right, Lotus?
Yeah, that is correct. Should be 3 days. Yeah.
3 days event, yeah. So as usual, well, not as usual, but as usual with the pandemic, there will be a lot of live streams on multiple channels, mainly twitch.tv/Bethesda, but also, where's the community stuff at?
So there is a sub-channel for twitch.tv/QuakeCon community, which is a community channel devoted just to community projects that Bethesda is also running. And as far as I know, unlike the scheduled events that have time periods on the Bethesda thing, it's, I believe, like 24 hours a day the entire time.
Oh, there you go.
I think
That's great.
I think the channel's just live with scheduled things, and then I'm not entirely sure of this, so I could be wrong, but last year what they were doing, which I was part of, was they were jumping around to different people on the QuakeCon stream team and kind of like highlighting like, oh, this person's playing ESO, this person's playing Doom, this person's playing Quake, all the different properties that they own. So it's like, it's more community focused than the main channel, which is still community focused, but there's, their scheduled event stuff that they're showing. They'll be showing, Elder Scrolls stuff. Fingers crossed, hopefully something Quake related at QuakeCon would be nice because I love Quake. But all the different stuff like that will be on the main channel as well as community stuff, whereas the community channel is solely based for community projects and everything like that. And there's a lot of big name people doing different things from the Fallout community, the Elder Scrolls community, the Doom community, all sorts of stuff. It should be a lot of fun.
So let's get into it right away, so the most amount of people hear it. What about you, Tom from ESO Lorecast, and Aramithius from Written in Uncertainty will be doing for QuakeCon?
So on August 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern, we have our segment for QuakeCon, which is kind of, like you mentioned, it's like a combined effort where Robots is a game show host, and it's actually a quiz show battle between me and Aramithius. So that will be interesting, as I play these games a lot or whatever. Aramithius borderline studies this stuff like a professor. So Tom supposedly has put in a decent amount of effort to make it a mix of gameplay and lore, which gives me a better shot because I will get outlured, I assume, very easily. Yeah. But it should be a lot of fun. And yeah, it's kind of like just a makeshift quiz show that Tom has come up with. You actually had the live one we did when you joined us over on Lorecast.
Yeah, I have been a part of Robot's game show, the rigged game show, where all the questions he asked me were Guar related. So
that was amazing.
That was the best.
I still need to get back at him for that.
I was dying the whole time.
I still need to have him on Tails after I prepare a quiz show for him. A lore quiz show, but my lore quiz show.
Oh god.
But yeah, so Lotus will be going. So Aramithius is the host of the Written in Uncertainty podcast. He goes into lore in a way that we do not dare to go in. He is
it's
here at Tales of Tamriel. We discuss lore in a more like speculative manner because we don't deep dive into it and check facts and everything like that.
Right, and a lot of it's top level too, where it's like these are things mentioned in game, these are things that are straight up quests from in game and stuff like that. Yeah. Whereas Aramithius goes into, this is from the forums from one of the writers prior to them leaving Bethesda, and it turns out that it actually ties into this other theory and it's like, oh my god, this is like deep.
Yeah.
So it's much more the understanding of it as opposed to just the surface level stuff.
Yeah, as Humoraf just mentioned, Aramithius is a Lord of Lore. He looks straight into the minds of people like Michael Kirkbride,
Yes.
And
it's about analyzing exactly.
Sort of going, I've seen the gates of oblivion beyond which no waking eye may see type thing, but for the lore. So, and then ESO Lorecast, where Lotus is a part of along with Robots, is sort of in the middle of the two. So they go into the lore, explain it a bit more, research it a bit more, but not at the level of Aramithius and not as surface level as us. So it's gonna be quite fun. And my bet. So what I said to motivate Lotus so that he brings the win, definitely, that's my motive, to us here at Tales of Tamriel, is that I said, if Lotus doesn't win this, I am going on a Guar killing spree. So, Lotus.
Oh, God.
All those Guar blood will be on your hand. I don't know. it's a win-win for me. If you win, you bring a, championship thingy or whatever to Tails here at home. And if you don't win, I get to kill a bunch of guars, which is also a win. So nice.
You have to stream the guar killing. You have to stream the guar killing and shame Lotus the entire time, though.
Yes.
If he loses.
Oh, man.
Yes. Every time I kill a guar, I'll be like, this is for Lotus, this is for Lotus, this is for Lotus, this is for Lotus, Until I get bored of it, basically. Which I might never, so yeah.
Oh, God.
So I don't know, Lotus, you might want to spend the next week studying. Just saying. Even if you did study, I don't think you have a chance against Aramithi's lore either way. But yeah, with the game stuff,
so much.
Since you've been a classic Elder Scrolls masochist this past few months,
true.
You might have a chance at it.
Yeah, it depends what direction Robot sends the questions in.
I mean, if he did what he did to me, neither of you are gonna know a single question, right? So I don't know.
There is also the running joke that I was saying with Aramithius. I was like, watch us both be part of lore shows, and in front of everybody for QuakeCon, we get all of the question wrong, and everybody's just like, these two are morons.
So, to be fair, as Rhett from Good Mythical Morning says, he doesn't study because you know what you know. Just roll with it. You know what you know. You're not going to learn anything else between now and then that you're going to remember. You know what you know. Just wing it.
I mean, he's gonna ask something like, which era Skyrim takes place in, and then both of you are gonna overthink it so much.
We just freeze. Yeah, we just freeze up, and we're like,
Skyrim takes place in Nirn, and it's like Nirn exists in, from Meretic era all the way to 4th era. Technically, it exists everywhere, every time, so...
Isha says it's gonna be a... Apocalypse. Sorry, I couldn't say the word without laughing.
Hopefully. But yeah, definitely
should be a lot of fun.
So, August 20, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv/QuakeCon community is where this thing is going to be happening, so do check out. Now, obviously, that's not the only thing that's going to be happening during QuakeCon. That is Elder Scrolls related, at least. There's going to be all the Bethesda game stuff, generally trailers, developer interviews, and things like that. But for Elder Scrolls Online related things, Matt Fire and Rich Lambert and our beloved community managers Gina and Jessica will be hosting a special show for Waking Flame DLC and all the upcoming stuff. Sort of taking a look into what's coming and, how things are going within ZeniMax Online Studios. There's going to be a very interesting dungeon speedrun competition hosted by, again, Gina Jessica and Mike Finnegan between two all-star teams. And the winning team will get the amazing chair Lotus is sitting on right now, the Elder Scrolls Online edition of Noble Chairs, the hero chair. Now, the themes are pretty impressive. There is the NA team with Nefas, Rogue Dragon, Meme Tank Extra, and Kodiak. Both of these are 1 tank, 3 DPS, by the way. Nefas is tank, so, And EU team is David 0001. Cat, please, don't press things. Olibo, Olulu, and Warfire X. Again, another 3 DPS 1 tank team. I'm getting bitten by my cat. So yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
Joined my side of things, Ark. Wait until he goes for the throat like mine does.
This is something I can't edit. Look, I have to use my keyboard, Cat. You can't attack my hand just because I'm using my keyboard. So yeah, I got sidetracked and lost my train of thought. But so there you go. So
that is Tails.
Yeah. So one thing I just wanted to mention from the teams, which good luck to both teams. Nefas, as we all know, is super good. I only recognize like a few of the people. I'm sure they're like connected to different communities they just haven't bumped into. The only person that I did want to point out was Olibo, who at one point as far as I know, they're not back up to it because of Rockgrove currently. But at one point, and they currently do have more than me, they had 2 patches ago 100% of the achievements in ESO.
Oh, wow. Okay, there you go. Yeah,
They briefly had literally every achievement in the game. Bless you, Boots.
Are they on the NA team or the EU team?
They're on the EU team.
Oh.
Yes. Olibo, I don't know them personally, but I just saw their post in like a thing a while back, and it was funny. They made the joke that they had I believe it was a 37% uptime, and they posted their gameplay, and it was literally 37% of the past 6 years was in ESO. And I'm like,
my God.
That is dedication.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, needless to say, you want somebody that can school me on achievements? There would be one of the people that I always say is ahead of me on the achievement list. That would be Olibo.
So Olibo
They're one of the
versus
people that
Nephis.
are in front of me.
That's going to be interesting. I'm
Yeah,
interested
I
to
think
see how
that'll be
that plays
great.
out.
I know. I can't wait to see the time on what they do these dungeons in, because I love Black Drake Villa or Soothing Summer Village. But it's not, in the grand scheme of difficult dungeons, even with the hard modes, it's not as brutal as some of the others.
Mm-hmm.
So I can only imagine what strategy they're going to do to like nuke this thing. I'm like really
because
interested to just see
they are going to be
what
going
their
after
approach is.
speed. Like whoever finishes
it's-
it first. So you know,
Right.
3 DPS, 3 beast level DPSs with 2 beast tanks. It's going to be interesting. I mean, they might set a world record or something because
I'm
I can
very
imagine
curious.
they're
And-
specifically training for this too now. So it's going to be fun to watch.
And from the victory side of things, these chairs are no joke.
Oh yeah, that's
Other than them being super comfortable, that's a legit prize. Like,
not easy
So-
to get either, stock and shipping
No.
wise. So
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm very curious to see that one specifically.
I can imagine right now Pylon just starting to train like
Weeping
with the
internally.
Rocky theme in the background for the next year's QuakeCon, so you can get a chair as well.
It's just bench pressing his old chair.
Yeah. So there's gonna be streams from all around the world. I'm not gonna go into dates and times on all of those, but there's gonna be the Spain, Nordics, Middle East, even Turkey, which is slowly making an appearance. Actually, there's a great cosplayer and streamer from Turkey that has been working with Bethesda Turkey. I
that's
actually
awesome.
messaged them and they were like, do you do any Turkish content? I was like, nope. And they were like, so yeah, that didn't work out.
You should immediately,
Yeah.
Just
I
start
was like,
speaking Turkish.
right?
Yeah, they kind of asked whether if I did any Turkish content and I was like, nope. So yeah, that didn't work out.
I mean, you can, though.
Right?
Yeah, but multi-language streams and whatnot can get very complicated because you are
I
sort of
would
excluding one. All the time you're excluding some people. So,
Sure.
I don't know. It's, yeah. Anyway, there's going to be some live art creation with the concept artist and art director, which I can imagine that's going to be beautiful. And it's going to be, a great look into how they do things, how they create the art. These generally involve some Q&A as well, with Gina bringing questions from chat into the attention of these people. So those are generally great to watch. There's gonna be trials. There's gonna be UK stream team stuff. Basically, full-on Elder Scrolls Online stuff constantly happening throughout this event. Lots of giveaways, lots of in-game and physical loot that you will be able to earn. So definitely check out the website for all the times and dates and specific stuff. This is going to be a blast of a weekend, or rather Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And yeah, and this is only the Elder Scrolls Online related stuff. As I said, there is going to be I would assume maybe some new information from all the new Bethesda games that were announced during What did we have very recently?
Oh, the E3 showcase with
yes.
Microsoft.
Yeah. So we might see some new stuff regarding those. We might see new stuff for, as you said, Quake, Doom. So maybe some Starfield, maybe. So one can hope. But we'll see. Also throughout this, until the end of this, and it's currently happening, Elder Scrolls Online and Blackwood on all platforms are currently on sale. Except I don't see PlayStation here, so that might not be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No surprise there.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
So both Blackwood and Elder Scrolls Online is on sale until pretty much August. Well, Standard Edition until August 31st, and Blackwood Chapter is until August 24 on Elder Scrolls Online Store, Bethesda.net, Steam Store, Stadia, and Xbox. And no PlayStation for whatever reason. I don't know.
Because Sony. That's probably the reason.
We are not gonna allow people to buy this for cheap. That's not gonna work.
It's not how things are done on PlayStation.
So
they're just done in a complicated way.
One more thing, they provided us with the preview of Elder Scrolls Online's graphical improvements that are coming on consoles with Update 31. It's a very nice article, goes into a little bit of detail, but instead of just talking about these details, like, the technical stuff and whatnot, we are gonna wait until Update 31, let Lotus, who recently got us PlayStation 5, try those changes, see how his game is looking differently from before and everything like that, and talk about that after Update 31. But if you are interested in the technical details of the things that are changing, you can check that out on the website as well. The article is called Update 31 Preview, ESO's Graphical Improvements. And that's pretty much about our news. I just realized I forgot to record this, so I will have to pull this off of Twitch, so that's good.
Great. Perfect. After all of my screw-ups, it still managed.
Yeah. Hey, you threw me off at the beginning with your whisper.
Sure,
I guess I'm leaving that on at the beginning of the show now, so that all of this makes sense.
I remember you saying
listeners.
At least twice, I've already started my Audacity while we were in the pre-show. At least 2 times. I have started my Audacity, because then that's whenever I click to start it. And then whenever Lotus says, I'm going to start my Audacity, you said, oh, I already started my Audacity.
At least we have our Audacities. Yeah, that's fine. And honestly, I can just pull this off of Twitch. It'll be fine. I'll manage something.
It wouldn't be the first time.
Yeah,
true. Wait, by recording, did you mean something other than Audacity?
No, I forgot my Streamlabs recording, like local recording.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
The actual video and everything is included.
Gotcha. Okay,
thankfully,
that makes
Twitch
sense.
archives everything, so we have a show still. This could have gone horribly wrong.
I thought you meant that you forgot to start Audacity. That's why it was so funny that you kept saying that you started your Audacity already.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past me after all of you said it multiple times that I would forget. It's, something I can most definitely do, but didn't do it this time around. That's pretty much our news. Do you guys have anything else that you think I forgot? Anything your eyes caught throughout the week?
No, I think that was the main bulk of the news, is the upcoming QuakeCon thing, which I knew was coming but was NDA'd, so we couldn't really say anything about it. So now that it's been officially announced, that was really the only thing. Our main news
episode regarding QuakeCon will obviously be after QuakeCon, where we consume all the news and discussion topics, and probably record another 2-3 hour episode, depending on how
plus with Dungeons right on the horizon. So it's a lot coming up very soon. This is kind of the intermediary of stuff's about to start dropping again.
I mean, the last time we had a few short episodes, because it was the silence before the storm, we followed up by recording an almost 4-hour episode.
That went on for a while. Yeah. So we're kind of in that scenario again, where it's more recap, look what's coming up, here's what we did, and then kind of into here's the deluge of stuff again. Surprise.
Yeah. So yeah, which brings us to, honestly, Tales. And I don't have any again, because I'm, we are literally on hold waiting for Waking Flame to come, so we can just start throwing ourselves at the dungeons, the new dungeons again, and try to get the hard modes and clear those. Until then, the Untaunted is basically on standby. Everyone's playing different games. I got hooked on GTA 5, which is, a very completely different direction.
That's pretty different than anything Elder Scrolls, yeah.
yeah. I mean, see, I went from Elder Scrolls Online to sort of Fallout, which was still in the Bethesda region. And then New World happened,
jump.
And I didn't play anything but New World, but it was still an MMORPG and a fantasy-ish setting. And then now I'm playing GTA 5. It's
totally different direction, yeah.
Yeah, record scratch, freeze frame. You might be wondering how I got here. So, yeah, until Waking Flame, I might not have... Actually, the reason I haven't been playing ESO is because I literally don't have anything to do in ESO right now. My gear is maxed out. I don't have anything to farm. I don't have anything to do. I have all the dungeon hard modes, and I don't want to get involved with trials because organizing 12 people sucks. So I literally don't have anything to work towards in ESO at the moment. I have achieved everything I want to achieve.
Yeah, your goals are currently complete.
Yeah. However, with Waking Flame, that's going to change because they are adding a whole bunch of new sets that I want about 80% of all of them to test, both in PvE and PvP. So it's going to be a nightmare of trying to get one piece of, a shield for 100 times again. And my Tales will involve me screaming into the microphone in pain and suffering. But that aside, I had the idea of starting a new stream series, specific day, I don't know, Wednesday evenings on PCEU, where I will tank on a first come first serve basis for people in chat, whatever they want me to tank, basically. Do they want to slow roll a dungeon so they can get the story? Fine. If they want...
Oh, wow, that's very old school Dungeon Crawler Network. That could be fun.
Yeah, if they need someone to, run them through Ruins of Mazatun hard mode or Stone Garden hard mode, which, might refuse if that's the case, might set up some rules because... Holy hell, I don't want to go back to Stone Garden. But sort of dedicate everyone, 30, 40 minutes of tanking time on a first come, first serve basis. And just, something like that. I've been thinking about it. That it would give me something to do. It would make a fun community thing. And most importantly, it would give me something to do. Because my other alternative is pugging dungeons. And...
Oh, God.
I've done that enough, I feel like.
I was going to say...
I will pug Waking Flame, though. If I don't clear every DLC dungeon on Veteran, not saying hard mode, on Veteran, with pugs once, it doesn't feel right. The suffering must be complete. The sacrifice must be given to the gods. The gods demand pug runs. So, yeah. So stay tuned for that, folks. That might be coming soon. And that's pretty much all I had in terms of my upcoming tales, future tales. There you go. Now I won't have tales for the next 7 months because I just summarized everything that might happen in the future. Yeah, that's it. Last episode. Let's go. Pixie. Since you haven't been here last week, why don't you go on ahead and tell us about your news? Or rather, tales.
All right. So, last week, since I wasn't here, on Friday, I actually got a slot for the World Plays ESO campaign. It was during Greymore week, so Friday was also my VKA prog that we've been working on. We decided that since I was doing the World Plays ESO stuff and might have a little bit higher traffic and was going to be trying to run giveaways and stuff while also streaming, that it was going to make more sense to not do the hard modes and to just show people VKA. So that didn't start until about an hour into the stream. So we were walking people through the dailies, showing people hero storms. It was an absolute blast. And then we got into VKA, and our raid lead, Azure, actually had prepared a bingo card because it was a guild run and we had been running together, and it was hilarious. It was the most fun I've had in a trial in a long time. So there was gold raffled off to the winner of the bingo card in the guild. Examples of slots included Braun performs an accent and Pixie drinks on stream, which that second one might have well been another free space, because immediately as soon as I saw it, I was like, I already have a beer in my hand, so we can just go ahead and mark that one off.
Do you have this highlighted and saved?
Oh, I should do that.
Yes.
I need to. It's not highlighted yet, but I can do that. I'll do that for you, because it was hysterical. But it gave, so along with just being super fun to do with the guild, because it wasn't something I was sharing with chat because they don't really know the people in the guild. My third stream anniversary is coming up this month, and I plan to celebrate it at the launch of the Waking Flame DLC, and I'm going to make some bingo cards for chat to play along.
That sounds fun.
To raffle off some codes for giveaways. So we gave you just that really great idea. It's going to be hilarious, and I'm super excited about that because I know with the guild, everybody loved it. It was hilarious. We were all in tears laughing so hard. It was amazing. So we're going to do that. I have been toying around with the idea of bringing back the Wheel of Pain, but since I'm doing the blind dungeons, I'm probably just going to save that for Extra Life, just that way we could clear the things. But also, I've been doing a lot of things for transmutes because I'm now in, so the VKA and the VCR prog kind of fell apart a little bit, but I am now in a VSS prog. So we're going for Locustes hard mode first, and in order to do that, I've been trying to get some transmutes. I'm going to have to be running a lot of Stone Garden because they want me running Arcasis instead of Hollowfang.
A trial team wants Arcasis to be ran?
Yes. Azure asked me to run Arcasis. Don't know why.
Surprised. You'll be surprised at some of the weird crap people will do depending upon what the trial... Like, when you have a trial lead that has everything organized... People will come up with strategies based on like, well,
I'm ahead of my time.
Since you have the same group of people doing it, you kind of have things that can work for a specific strategy.
Right.
Yeah.
So
no, I am
Azure
happy.
Is
Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Because absolutely. I love Arcasis set. I've been using Arcasis set, and like whenever I come up with a build and then it shows up as like a part of a prog or I'll cast build or something like that after I come up with it, I'm like, nice.
Well, this is for a healer to run. I'm not tanking this.
I know. It
doesn't matter.
He gave me his reasoning. I don't remember it because it was just a lot of information thrown at me, and all I got from it, you want me to get Arcasis? Okay, I'll go get Arcasis.
I'm telling you.
That's kind of like
bunch of necromancers with bunch of Arcasis and Drake's Rush, and it doesn't matter. Nothing matters because you can spam the res ultimate so much if you do that combo. It's like, no, someone died. Yeah, res, doesn't matter.
Yeah, it might be so I can res people plus Colossus, because I know
I was gonna say
I'm
Colossus.
one of 3 necromancers, so I have to keep my Colossus uptime perfect with everybody else. In that same vein, we did have our last VCR prog last week as well, and I was super proud of myself because a couple weeks ago, whenever the thing started a few weeks ago, was the first time I'd ever like tried Roaring Opportunist and Jorvolds together. And whenever I started, I had about an 80% uptime. I got that up to like 94 or 96% uptime.
Damn.
So I was super proud of myself. So I now feel really comfortable because it is a very different rotation than what I do whenever I'm SPC and Hollowfang. So being able to get that much of an uptime just after a few weeks just made me really, really happy with myself. And I learned a lot through that prog team because I also saw like a 10k boost in my HPS. And I just learned so much from Ace, our raid lead. And it was just a really great time. So I'm really excited going into this VSS prog. So I'll have Thursdays free and Saturdays free. Fridays are VSS prog. So I'll be able to do, I'm hoping to get back into dungeon progression here in the coming weeks because Braun and I actually got an add-on that tells us exactly which like hard mode speedrun no death achievements were missing from which dungeons. And he and I actually have a lot of the same ones that we're missing. And also, he has no Worm Wizard personality on PC and no Necromancer skin on PC. He has those on PS4. So it looks like pretty soon I'm going to be going back into Scale Color Peak and Fanglair hard mode.
The two hard modes that, like, regardless of how good you get at them, they can still mess you up. Yeah, the RNG.
Maybe I'm dumb. But I feel really confident because I ran those so many damn times that I feel really confident.
You totally can get them down. Like, that's just
right. It's just, but will RNG just screw you for 3 hours?
Yeah. Are you going to fight because that was our thing with No Bone Left Unbroken with Fanglair. It was like that, like, was so mentally taxing when we're like, okay, cool, we're just nuke, and somebody just gets in a position where it's just like, oh, I gotta just rotate out of the oh, never mind, a wall popped up. It's just like, god damn it. It's like any other side of the room would have been fine. It just couldn't spawn there for 4 steps, and it immediately chose that angle. It's like, oh, okay. It's like, oh, there's a poison right under your safety circle. It's like, how is a DPS going to live through this? It's like, oh, they're not. Yeah. Go to hell. It's like, oh, man.
Well, the way you do it is, there's actually a way to do this. So before the prog night, before you do the dungeon, you get some, like a box of nice quality chocolate and some flowers. You send them to Mike Finnegan at Zenimax HQ. Okay. So he gets into a good mood. Now, if you try to run Scale Color Peak and Fanglair while Mike Finnegan is in a bad mood, the RNG mechanics of those dungeons act out terribly and gets you killed. So you first put him into a good mood so that the dungeons act out properly and you can complete these dungeons without suffering terrible consequences. It's very simple.
Somebody please clip that and send it to Finn,
I was gonna say, I did not know where that was going at first, and then I'm like, that's after doing those, I feel like that was probably something that we should have thought of, because sometimes it was just like, this dungeon is just mean-spirited. Like, it's just choosing whatever. We'll have everything accounted for except one thing, and it always chooses that one thing. And it's like,
see, I take a different approach. Now, the reason I cleared Scale Color Peak hard mode, for example, very easily with the Untaunted is I took a different approach. I went experimental. I trash talked Finn on Twitter, and then he told me get good on Twitter, but in doing so, he unintentionally blessed me as the lead encounter designer, and I cleared it in like all the, speedrun blah 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 in like 20 minutes. But that's that I tricked him into telling me get good, and because he has word of power among his many suffering inflicting superpowers, it worked. So you can also try that, but it doesn't always work.
For the only thing I will say on a serious note, though, is one thing that we did when we were going for Mountain God that helped immensely: use the Ring of the Wild Hunt, the one that gives you extra speed.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
You can get out of those pie slices so fast.
Because that's not a DPS fight anyway. So.
It is not. There are hard points where it will literally not let you damage the boss.
Yeah.
And if you're in a bad position and you have that ring on, or the alternative, you can use. Actually, didn't they change rapids? I actually don't think rapids would work anymore. I think
Nightblade zoomies would work.
Nightblade zoomies you could do too. But yeah, if you put on Ring of the Wild Hunt, you can scoot out of a bad placed pie slice wicked easy. And the other thing, which was our problem at first, other than the pie slices, which are problematic, is when we were talking about things not being so much RNG is spiteful, when all of the mechanics would pincer somebody into the corner, and it's like, it's going to make us use a mechanic. Like, we're going to have to use a mechanic, and that person will die, like, because we won't be able to save ourselves. If you have that speed on, you can zip in between stuff so much quicker, and the things don't move fast enough, like the laser beam and the ice and the stuff. It doesn't move fast enough to lock you down. So when we did that, it was a world of difference. We got Mountain God pretty fast once we thought of that. To be fair, it was our sorcerer Bill who thought of it. He was like, what if we just all go really fast? I was like, that is good.
Is sorcerer Bill, is he a Sonic fan by chance?
I can't imagine he is.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
Another thing I just thought about is Warden portals can teleport your allies as well.
Ooh, they can?
Oh, I wonder. I never thought
I didn't think about that.
Interesting.
I think they can teleport your allies as well. So
I know you can like
gonna check
slingshot yourself to them with the vines thing.
I think if you slingshot through a mechanic, you might still wait. Like the mechanic might like override the slingshot.
So on that note, it probably will not, because one thing that you can do in Vatashram Hollows, if you're a Sork or a Nightblade, you can just Sork streak through that wall and it won't even damage you. You don't have to do the mechanics for the final fight.
Oh, that's nice.
Okay.
It just bypasses it entirely.
No, but Sork streak sort of blinks you, but Warden's pull is like move in a straight.
Right. I mean, you might be right. I just mean like skills can override mechanics, so it wouldn't seem totally out of the ordinary that maybe it would.
Right. So actually, there you go. Yeah. The frozen retreat morph of the Warden teleport grants allies in the area a synergy that teleports them to you and grants them increased movement speed. So if you place these portals as the tank in key locations that would be difficult to get out of in a pinch, your allies, because these lasts quite a bit of time as well on the ground. Now the problem would be not wanting to use this synergy, but because in ESO synergies can like switch back and forth when you're just about to press them. Yeah. But I guess this could be a strategy as well to just like, I am, cornered. But if you have these portals on key locations, your allies, now you can only go to the tank or the Warden that placed these. So, if he needs to be in the clear area. But yeah, just popped into my mind that I was like, can we use that as well? So
that actually leads right into my next thing for Tails is I've actually been working on my other healers. So for a long time now. So prior to Elsewhere launching, I was a Templar main, and I had respec'd that Templar to be a DPS a while back. I have actually reversed that, and she's now a healer again. And there's a couple skills I need to level for the groups that I run in and everything, so I'm still working on her. Same thing with a Warden. I had leveled a Warden back whenever I first switched to PC, and then didn't really play with her much after I got her to 50. But I'm leveling up her last couple skills that I need to get her with a solid build to actually run in-game content with her as well. And I've just been passing gear back and forth between them and my Necromancer. And I've been playing with that more often. I'm really liking healing on my Warden again. Because I was actually a Warden main for a little while I was on Xbox, like forever ago, whenever Warden was new with Morrowind's launch. So I'm really excited to get some more playtime on my Warden. And that kind of, since I already have the hard mode clear, the hard mode speedrun and no death clears on my Necromancer, I'm really tempted to bring my Warden in there, get those achievements on my Warden, since I have those achievements already, and I can get them for Braun to get his personality.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah.
And get more practice on my Warden, and I can test out that theory, because I'll use the frozen whatever morph.
Yeah, totally makes sense.
What was your tank?
And see if it
Wasn't
works.
your tank the warden?
My tank is also a warden, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have a warden healer as well, who's a Breton. And then I have the warden tank, who's an Argonian, who I still run things on from time to time. I still need to get some different sets for her, which is another thing I'd like to work on at some point, because I do really enjoy tanking, and it's just one of those things that just keeps burnout low, is switching between healer classes, switching roles. So I still am not quite there with DPS yet, but I do really enjoy healing and tanking. Just those support roles to me just click really well, and I like them a lot. So I have been just tanking random normals and stuff for transmutes, as well as running on, pretty much every tune I have. But it's been a really good time, and I think I'm gonna level up those last couple skills I need, and then run with a group through those to get Braun those clears that he needs, and do that on my warden this time, since I don't have those clears there with her.
And I guess that definitely helps with the burnout, I'd imagine, because one of my problems with how, unless there's something new, I play ESO very little, is I only play as a tank. I have no intention of or desire to play as a healer or a DPS. And I very mainly play as a DK tank. So nothing really changes for me, which is, something that I do to myself. But I'm so lazy about leveling alts. All the skill points that you have. If I could have all my skill points immediately, then I would level alts, because then it's not a problem. But getting skill points requires you to do all the boring things again, just so you can get the skill points out of it. So I'm like, ugh.
Something that I've found really fun with skill points, it's, I kind of cheat because I have, like, a person in my office to go do stuff with me. It's just, like, running around while, like, throwing up a YouTube video. So basically, Braun and I will run around and get sky shards for a few hours while we're watching YouTube videos and just running that through our speakers. And it's nice and chill. Just like, we do it on nights whenever we don't really feel like running anything difficult and we just want to chill. And so we've been doing that lately, so that way I can get skill points on my alts and everything. And it's just ultimately been good for me in ESO to just keep me from burning out, especially with the warden, because I feel like the warden healer quest or healer skill lines and everything are used more than like your class skill lines on a necromancer or a templar. And then templar has huge heals, but like, I don't know, it just got boring to me whenever I was playing. That's why I switched to necromancer and stayed on necromancer for so long. So now that I'm playing a warden again, I'm using more of those class skill lines. It feels super unique. It's been like a breath of fresh air for healing for me. And then on the flip side of that, also tanking on a warden is really, really fun. I did finally unlock trap on my Sork, so I do need to kind of sit down and learn a rotation with her now that I have most of the skills I need. I think the only thing I'm missing now is Orb, because I have to get 10 and Undaunted before I can actually have the right skills for my rotation for the build that I'm using. But I don't know. It's nice to kind of mix it up a bit and do different things, especially now that I'm with some groups that are running in-game content, and it just makes it more interesting.
Nice, yeah,
makes sense.
Maybe one day I'll level on. Maybe one day they'll introduce a class and I'll be like, this is better than DK. Because as Delta in chat just said, you're already playing as the best class, no need to level alts. DK all the way. I gotta say, nothing feels as right as a Dragon Knight. It just feels correct, especially for a Nord tank. Yeah, I was hoping Warden would be that because all the frozen, frost skills and everything, but nah, DK is just beautiful.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me until Waking Flame, which I'm hopefully going to be doing some really, really cool stuff for, as long as I can get real life stuff to align with the launch night and everything. Planning a really fun blind dungeon run night for everybody. Hopefully I can get together a bingo ticket, and definitely for sure going to be doing lots of giveaways because it does coincide with my 3rd stream anniversary. So going to be really fun stuff coming. Maybe mixing things up. Well, actually definitely mixing things up because I for sure want to run those achievements that I already have on my Necro with my Warden. So it's going to be a little bit different, and I'm really excited about all of it, and it does like kind of keep my interest in the game while we're waiting for more content. So I'm really excited about it. Other than that, there's one more thing, which is really big, and it happened yesterday, actually. So, you know him as the voice at the end of Tales of Tamriel, but Wandering Bard actually came down to Florida to visit. He was visiting his brother, but his brother only lives about an hour from me. So, because of COVID, we didn't really feel comfortable meeting like in a restaurant. So I just gave him my address and like, come on over, man. I've known you since 2018. Let's just hang out. So I got to hang out with Wandering Bard and his wife and his daughter. And so it was me, Braun, and Bard. We were having a great time. Got to show him the office.
I'm so jealous.
That's so cool.
It was so much fun. Of course, he trolled me in real life, and it got to the point where I said I was going to hit him, so he hid behind the wall that I have, the soundproof wall over here in my office. But it was such a great time. It's always so much fun whenever you get to meet like one of your online friends in real life, and you realize just how not awkward it is to meet someone in person.
It seems like it would be so much weirder than it is, but it rarely actually is. Just when you've played like, we've grouped for literally hundreds of hours. It's like, well, yeah, why would this be any different?
I mean, I hang out with you guys more than some of my closest like IRL friends.
Sure.
I have some closest friends that I see, I don't know, like every other month for a few hours. And I have you guys that we chat every day pretty much.
Yeah, so, I mean, constantly. Yeah.
And
it just feels so normal whenever you meet them in person. And I did make the mistake because I'm just so used to associating his voice with like his username. So I kept accidentally calling him Bard as like the one thing instead of like his actual first name.
There's no way I can call you guys by your true names.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely no. If we meet in real life, you are Lotus, you are Pixie. No, absolutely no way.
Yeah, that was all ESO Vegas. Everybody just was using usernames.
Yeah, I mean,
the funny thing, so since I'm dating somebody that I met in ESO, there was a period of time there where it was so hard for me to call him by something other than Braun.
Actually, I just assumed you guys would be calling each other Pixie and Braun this whole time.
There are times, like, it's so weird how it's like a switch in my brain now. Like, when I'm talking about ESO stuff, even if it's like me and him just talking, if we're talking about like Prague stuff, I start calling him Braun and he starts calling me Pixie. And it's just like we switch. But then it gets really weird because sometimes on the stream we use each other's first names. Everybody's like, who the hell are you talking to? But we both have like basic white people names. It's Taylor and Cody. So it's like, whatever. It's not like we doxed each other.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's pretty standard.
Yeah. So, but it's so weird to like, especially whenever you're dating somebody from the community, try to make that mental flip, because the first time he came down to visit me, or when we first started dating, it's like, okay, don't call him Braun. That's not his name.
Not real.
It's so hard.
I don't know. I guess if it was me, I would just use, At this point, like, I react to Ark more than my actual name. So, I don't know. If I met someone from the online community and they called me by my real name, I'd be like, first of all, there's no way they can pronounce it anyway, so I prefer not. I had a teacher who was Russian, and she insisted on using my full name that she could, for the life of her, could not pronounce. And I was like, please please, I just shortened it and just please use this. And she was just insisting on using the full one. Same with my Japanese teacher. He was the same. He just couldn't say it, but just insisted on trying to say it. So there's also that.
Like, we have easy names. The problem is just after, because he and I met in like late 2019, and so just like knowing somebody as that name, like me as Pixie for him, like
you have to unlearn something.
Yeah, and now it's like the opposite, where we keep calling each other by our first name whenever we're streaming, and he's started streaming as well too, now that he's upgraded his PC, and his PC isn't gonna just like crap out on him. So trying to like remember, okay, now we're Pixie and Braun again the whole time. It's interesting for sure. And that's something that, like, you know, you never think about, because most people who play an MMO, like, who are single and stuff, don't think they're going to find their significant other in a video game of all places. Right. At least I didn't. So trying to make that mental flip and then flip it right back because you're content creators is really, really interesting. But it's been fun overall.
As I said, like, I didn't think, I just assumed in the house, you guys are like Braun and Pixie, you know, it's just...
Yeah, it's like, that wouldn't be the case.
Going to a restaurant together or a pub together, and it's like, just calling yourselves by Braun and Pixie, and everyone's like, what the...
The hilarious thing, so Braun uses Braun Solo for a lot of things, like his YouTube account and stuff. So on his, whenever we're like using our Roku TV and stuff, he'll cast something to the screen, like a YouTube video, and my son saw Braun Solo, and he's just like, who's Braun Solo? It's so fun. So now around the house, I've been calling him Braun Solo at times. Because it's just the most hilarious mispronunciation of his name. But it's been interesting. And so I kept back on the topic. I kept calling Bard in front of his wife, which I'm sure was jarring for her since she knows him as his first name. And it was just so weird to actually like stop myself, because he's like, hey, you can call me by my first name, it's fine. I'm like, I'm so sorry, like, I just hear your voice and that's who you are now. And so then he like jokingly called me Pixie for a while afterwards. It was just a great time, and it was so much fun getting to see him in person and just chill and just hang out, our kids watching SpongeBob together. It was such a good time.
Man, one day if I like actually do finish a game, maybe one day, and it hits off, I'm just gonna fly there and do a DC Ancon or something, just like our own freaking convention. And invite everybody. Yeah, just
I don't think I called Lotus by his first name the entire time in Vegas. I just called him Lotus.
Well, it's so funny because my wife uses your real name, and I still call you Pixie just by default. And she's always like...
That's how I know who's talking to me.
Yes, also valid. Yeah, that's also a really... When she hijacks my Discord, and kind of a dead giveaway.
So, Ark, if you come to visit us, I'm probably just going to call you Ark the entire time.
First of all, after the show, if you want, you can try using my first name, see what happens. And honestly, just call me out. As I said, I am, like, at some point, I was like, should I change my name to Ark at this point? Like, it's... Should I just legally change it? I actually considered it, like... But it's such a troublesome process to change your name. So I was like, nah, can't be bothered. But I did actually think about it. Yeah, I was like, just make it Ark. So 3 letters, easy to pronounce, easy to tell anyone. Right. Whichever country in the world you are in, you can just be like ARK, and they'll be like,
that's super. Everybody can pronounce that.
Yeah.
Right.
Before we jump off the name topic, it's kind of funny because Delta brought it up in chat, because I know Delta from high school, like in real life. One of the funny things is nobody actually uses my real name in real life either. I have a different name that everybody uses. And it's everybody just uses my last name. Nobody uses my first name.
Okay.
Because there were so many, like, my first name is incredibly generic. And there were so many of us that we all got labeled with our last names. Well, mine stuck permanently because it's pretty different. And as a result, it's pretty funny because, when I married my wife, we have the same last name. and she still refers to me by my last name.
That's adorable.
Because and her family will say my first name and she'll stare at them kind of confused, like the gears are turning. She's like, oh, right. And she's like, it still weirds me out if anybody ever uses your first name because nobody does.
That's so cute.
So, yep. So, sometimes it sticks in a different weird way.
But yeah, that's totally it for my tales. Again, mostly future tales that I'm hoping on, but
I feel like a lot of this is
a lot of
TM.
This is preparation for the episode that is coming after QuakeCon and Waking Flame DLC.
Yeah.
It's like we are giving you a heads up about our tales, basically. Just
yeah.
What about you, Lotus? What have you been up to?
So
actually, you know what? You finished
also,
Battlespire. Screw that.
I was gonna say I don't have torture tales, so like my tales, ironically, are pretty short this week as well.
Boring.
So I know there's no punishment. So my Griffin Heart team has needed to replace a couple people. We've had to do some shifting of positions. So instead of running that this week, which normally I don't really give updates on because it's like, hey, we almost got it but didn't. That's not really very interesting week after week. And I, when something's of note, I've mentioned it. But this week, we were trying to gear up a new healer in RO for the team. They were switching positions and they're switching to healer. So we ran a shit ton of Kind's Aegis in hopes to gear them. And we got 5 runs in, I think, in our allotted time that we usually do for the week. Got most of the gear. It's kind of a hodgepodge of perfected and not perfected, which is not the greatest because that's a perfected set that the extra magicka is nice. And when you're doing something like Griffin Heart, you really kind of want to have everybody prime real estate with as much as possible.
Yeah. So wait,
but it was
did you get
nothing.
Perfected from you get it from veteran, right? Not hard. It doesn't have to be.
But the chests only drop non-perfected, so we were grabbing chest 2 because it does. For anybody who doesn't know, because actually a lot of people didn't realize this that I found out. If you mix and match last patch, if you have 4 pieces of perfected and 1 piece of not perfected, they're not 2 sets anymore. You now get the non-perfected version
which
doing
makes
those 5 pieces,
sense.
which is awesome. I love that change. It was so good.
Also, when you said chests don't drop perfected, I was like, why does the chest piece doesn't drop it perfected? What is that?
I mean the chest you pick.
So you have to go with jewelry or something?
Yeah, no, literal chest. So we were opening the chest just for chances of getting him extra gear pieces. And it's enough to run it or whatever. So it relatively decent success. It is the Griffin Heart team. So everybody in there is pulling some real good stuff. It's a very strong team that I get to have with me for those runs. And we had never run VKA as a group before. I mean, people have cleared VKA and got Shield of the North and all this stuff. And so we just ran together just for the sake of this. We'll just go quick, just for gear. We'll just go fast. So we're not doing hard modes or any of that. It's just go, quick, as much gear drops as possible. And we missed the speed run in a group that's never run Kind's Aegis together. We missed the speed run by 3 minutes, 2 minutes, and 6 minutes. And then the other ones, I think we got distracted doing something totally different. But yeah, so for our first runs together, every time, I'll tell you exactly what it was every single time. It was that death pull right before the final run. That was the one that got us every single time. Had we not sucked at that?
To this day, I do not know how you know that.
We didn't spend time perfecting a strategy as the group because we didn't care. But we did blitz in. It's go, and it was we did it with 1 wipe or something like that, but it was always people were dying left and right in that things. It's that requires a lot of coordination, and we weren't going to waste time with okay, have a DPS slot of taunt so you can pull the infuser, which I know is like one of the, and it's like we weren't doing any of that. I was just like grab as much crap as you can and nuke it. And we just ran in like idiots. But yeah, so it's fun. I really like Kind's Aegis. It's such a great trial. It still does feel a little clunky. Like it still gets a little audio buggy and stuff like that. I don't know. It's still got some issues with it, but I really love that trial. I especially like the boat fight. I just think it's really fun. And I got to do a strategy I had never done before, in which instead of having when we're fighting Vrol, we had enough DPS where I just let all his electric shades stay on me too, and the other tank basically just got to twiddle his thumbs. Which was super fun. I had just never done it that way. So he came out, I grabbed him, and then I just brought him next to me, and I just like shuffled between bashing him and blocking him. And yeah, I didn't need to do that much. They had nuke level damage. Like what? It's not like I'm doing anything special. Like, oh, look how good I am. It's like, no, they just melted it so fast. I didn't.
It's a like trial trifecta team. So anything you guys run, even blindly at this point, should go like relatively smoothly. So yeah, but it was fun. Like I was gonna say, I think we only got one shade because it wasn't even hard mode. So it was like lightning guy dead. Okay, fight's over. It's like, but yeah, really like that trial. So that was that, and then honestly, the only other thing I did was we did have on Wednesday, I got to have my Wednesday trifecta team. We got together to run, and we decided on going for Pure Lunacy, which is the Moonhunter Keep trifecta. Which is pure lunacy. Going for that, but
people have mentioned that that's a very apt name. And I was very pleased. We got it. It took us a few pulls. Like we did not just ace this one. But again, shout out to my team because the healer, so we have a new healer. Our old healer is just on a break from the game. He kind of burnt out the Fang Layer thing, really kind of woof. That the RNG got to a couple of us. So he's on a break for now. He switched to Fallout. So we got a new healer from one of our guilds, and she's fantastic. She's a super good healer. And the interesting thing is she's all trials and actually very little dungeon experience, which has been really interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Because of me.
Yes, literally the exact opposite of you. And she has adapted super well to dungeons. Like she's super good. And the Pure Lunacy thing was just funny because we got her so many achievements from the dungeon without trying. There's one of the achievements, the white wolf in the courtyard?
Yeah.
So there's one thing called Unending Rage, in which you never drag her through a lightning pool, so she just stays enraged. Oof. And it's funny because normally that takes a little effort to... They can burn the wolf so fast, she only enrages once before she dies. So it's real easy to do that because wardens appear and then the fight's over. Yeah. So I think our best time on that fight was 32 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
Man. So we kept screwing up. Like we kept having a death. We had a death at 60k health on the final boss, one of our runs. Yeah, which was rough. We had a couple because of the sigil problem where the Simon Says minigame, a lot of times it does not spawn four of the correct colors. One of them will be blank and you need to find the blank one and go into it. If for anybody who does that, it can be really hard to see. It's a very frustrating glitch, but it will only show 3 of the correct color for the little Simon Says minigame. Look for a blank like sphere of light. It won't have a symbol above it. Run in that. It's not showing it to you, but that is the correct one. It's just errored out. It's super annoying, but it's something you just kind of learn to deal with for the hard mode.
in ESO.
It is. It's been there since launch. Yeah, it is. So we did have a couple where we couldn't see it quick enough because of all the chaos, and we lost a couple like that. But we started just go, quick through it, and the one we got our clear on because we were curious. We were like, man, we're getting a lot of runs in, and we just noticed the time from when we started, and we were like, we're barely how have we already tried this 3 times and we've only been at this for not that long? So Neo actually timed one of our runs. We made it to the end boss in 12 minutes.
There you go.
And we were like, so
I mean, if the second boss took you, if the werewolf boss took you 30 seconds, no wonder you got there in 12 minutes. Jeez.
So we were like, all we can do is not take more than 18 minutes on this hard mode and we'll be good. The other one, which is really a funny way of, there's an achievement, I forget what it's called, but it's for getting all of the color phases correct in the mage battle where it's on the staircase or whatever. A great way of getting all of the colors correct is just not doing them, period. Because if you nuke him so fast he never does anything, it just assumes you did them all correctly and gives you the achievements.
Technically, yeah. I mean...
which was very funny because I just went all offensive buffs and so did our healer. So I just chained both of the werewolves onto the boss as soon as it started, and they would kill it before it would turn into a behemoth, and then all the dots would be on him, and then I would use... So my go-to, which I cannot recommend enough, it's even better if you're a necromancer, but I'm not, I'm a DK, either Powerful Assault and Saxiel with Encratis, or Yolakrin and Saxiel with Encratis.
Wait, what does Saxiel do?
Saxiel's from Rockgrove, and Saxiel is probably my new favorite set in the game.
Okay.
Regardless of what you... So, the bonus is, when you use an ultimate, for every... I want to say it's every 12 ultimate consumed, maybe it's 10... you're granted 1 second of Empower to everybody in the group. Empower is the Warhorn buff. So if I drop a 500 ultimate barrier, everyone gets 31 seconds of Warhorn while barriered.
Wait, Empower is not the Warhorn. Warhorn gives major force.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's force. My bad. That's the buff it gives.
Wait,
my bad.
It gives... what?
Yeah. It gives major force. Yes. Sorry. I said the wrong buff.
Wait,
yeah. You are correct.
Dude. If I use that with my ultimate regeneration build...
Correct.
I mean, I can already... Well, with my ultimate regeneration build, I can already keep Warhorn literally 100% uptime. But...
Yep.
Even more 100%.
Yes. You could use Barrier or Magma Shell, because Magma Shell's cheaper.
Magma Shell with Warhorn. I am enlightened. Now I have something to do in ESO.
I can
grow here I come.
Also, the non-perfected version. So here's another thing that makes life easier. The perfected version only gives you 1,000 stamina, 1,000 and change. So it's not even... The non-perfected version is great. It's awesome.
Things I can do with this.
I love it. So for our trifecta
this
teams,
so much.
I now don't use Warhorn at all. I just use Barrier, and it lasts so long. So when fights for the final fight, I actually switch on Bloodspawn so that I'm getting more ultimate regeneration, and they're far enough away from me that they weren't getting the Encratis buff anyways in the hard mode. So I was able to just basically spam Barrier, Wolves are out, Barrier, Wolves are out, Barrier. So it was giving them extra time to breathe, and at the same time, they were getting major force, which was what I meant to...
Other buffs? Can a healer use
it doesn't
this?
give you the extra stat thing, which is... Again, could be negative, but this patch, it's very easy to have a million zillion resources. So
no, in general,
beneficial.
could a healer use it?
Yes, we've actually in one of my trials teams, the healer actually does use Saxiel.
Yeah, okay. I was told I should probably get Saxiel when I get the chance.
Luna this set, so I can keep my stupid ultimate regeneration build at its full. So I can regenerate myself Warhorn and Luna her ultimate, so we can just like
perma Warhorn buff.
I don't even know.
So I cannot recommend this set enough. Again, if you're a necromancer and you use Colossus, you essentially just use a Colossus Warhorn together. So it's damage galore, which is what one of our healers in one of my groups does. Again, I love that set. It's probably my new favorite set in the game. It's amazing. So what we've been trying for the trifecta stuff is just that. I'm like, okay, because we did it in when we did March of Sacrifices. That's where I tried it out, and I'm like, I love this. Like, this is so good. Because the hardest part of trifectas is not usually the speed run, not necessarily the hard. It's having nobody die while doing the hard mode. That's always the trick. And when people are just covered with a 20,000 point shield all the time, it's amazing how much less people die. The only thing that was rough in Moonhunter Keep is that hard mode is very DPS checky. Not in a more DPS is good. More DPS is bad in Moonhunter Keep. Because the faster you burn, the more the mechanics stack, and they're paced like 5% apart, 5% apart, 5% apart. And then also those big werewolves just don't make any sense. They just, they're nonsense. They moonwalk backwards. They fly around the map. They're ridiculous. But we did manage to get it. Our approach for a while, which was funny, we were like, we just got to burn it faster. We just got to burn it even faster than that, which at one point, we had wolves jumping off the wall. The big wolves came out. Color phase came out. Wardens came out. And then the wolves started coming off the walls again because we had looped back around. And we're like, what have we done? And needless to say, we did not win that one. That was not a clear. That was like, we're totally screwed.
I mean, at that point, because of the collisions, you might not even be able to walk to your circle that you need to survive.
Funny you say that. That wasn't what killed us, but the one where we died at, we had a death at 60k health left. There were so many ads, they couldn't hit the boss even hard targeted. There was too much crap in the way. They were like, I can't see him. And they're just like trying to blow everything up to get to the boss. And I was feverishly puncturing everything I could and trying to pull them away, but the boss was chasing me because obviously it was originally aggroed to me. And that was what happened. It took us so long to actually get damage on the boss because there was so much crap in the way. So the final run, we didn't slow roll it, but we slow-ish rolled it. And it's so funny. If you actually want the trifecta in a reasonable amount of time for people, don't try to nuke it. It's just so much harder. When we did it like that, we were like, it's so peaceful. Like when we were doing the color phase, there was nothing there. It was like, so how's everybody doing? We're just like hanging out because we're used to having wolves attacking us and mauling us during that phase and stuff. I was like, this is so much easier. But yeah, we managed to finally get it, knocked it out, got pure lunacy. I did not get it, but I believe one of the DPSs and a healer managed to grab the shoulder piece of Silver Dawn for the motif, which I specifically mentioned the shoulder piece because it's one of the most coveted shoulder pieces in the game because it gives you a little wolf head on your shoulder. And I know PC has crazy prices, but on console, it's like 200,000 at minimum for that motif page.
Jesus.
I believe it's probably like 400,000 or 500,000 on PC.
Probably, yeah. If it's 200k on consoles, it's generally double or triple the price.
Other than Zen's chess pieces, which is basically a bra, surprise, everybody wants that. That's like one of the most expensive pieces. But Yeah, it's that's pretty much all I managed to accomplish since last show. Knock that out. Another one down.
Dude, I need to get Saxiel. Well, I mean, I don't know. With the new with the Waking Flame, there are some fun sets to play around with, both that are coming from dungeons and that are being added into PvP with the rewards of the worthy. So I'll see, but dude, how did I miss that? Well, I mean, I haven't. When Blackwood launched, we had already cleared all of our dungeon hard modes, so I had stopped running dungeons basically. So I guess I didn't even look into it, like the new sets from Rockgrove. But man, that's a good idea.
Definitely recommend. And like I said, even if you don't want to don't worry about the perfected. Go just get some runs in on normal.
Yeah.
Other than the second fight, which will screw up pugs, but it really shouldn't screw them up that bad because it doesn't do that much damage. Just go through on normal and snag some pieces. You can definitely pug normal, and it's, other than being a super fun trial, I can't recommend that set enough. I love it.
Yeah. I'll definitely check it out. And when you said roll, I got sad because I used to love the roll set from Kind Aegis.
Yeah.
And then all the major buffs got wrecked and Major Aegis became useless. Man, I miss roll.
Rippity rip.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything else for us?
No, that's actually that's it. The rest of my stuff is on the horizon as well. With QuakeCon, new dungeons, and anything else we try to trifecta. We're almost through the list. I think there's 4 dungeons left that we need to trifecta, and then Black Rose.
Yeah. Well, so our next episode, as mentioned, will be after QuakeCon. So lots of stuff to talk about. Hopefully, we'll see if we get some extra news, not just for Elder Scrolls Online, but other Elder Scrolls related stuff as well. You never know. No Elder Scrolls 6, just to get it out of the way. But they might
already skip to the end of the announcement. Guess what wasn't announced? Elder Scrolls 6. There you go. See, let it wash over you and move on.
Yeah, but they can always introduce some interesting stuff. You never know. And we'll probably, if there's exciting other Bethesda stuff, we will most likely derail into general Bethesda discussions, depending on what news we get, so be ready for that as well. And then obviously with Waking Flame, there will be a lot of tales.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot
new
to think about, new set discussions. That'll probably be another long episode. Until then, we'll just keep doing these shorter for our standards.
I love how an hour and a half show is shorter.
Yeah.
It's a notably short show for us.
Yep. So, and that brings us to the end, to be honest. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Which feels strange that we didn't actually hit an hour and a half. This has to be the shortest episode we did in so long.
Right.
Like,
although this doesn't account for music.
True. Yeah.
So we'll be sitting at about an hour. It's still record time for us. Speaking of speed runs.
But don't worry about it. Starting next week and the following weeks, you'll have your several hour long episodes that you can listen to at work or spread out to the entire week's commute and things like that. Because, people were upset when we tried to make short episodes, so we are no longer trying, basically.
Yeah.
Also, I guess
you never could pull off an hour, no matter what we did.
Yeah. I guess when we are super sleep deprived, like we always are in our regular normal show time, which runs into like 2 a.m., I guess we just ramble on a lot more. So
I think that's what it is. It's
deprivation
rambliness.
Yeah.
I'm awake tonight, so it helps.
Yeah, strange, yeah. No drones over Cyrodiil or anything like that. It's me dreaming, having micro naps, and
micro naps.
Actually dreaming during the show. Pixie just slowly sliding off of her chair. Lotus has been so far the only one who's been 100% awake, and I think that's at parts in relation to his how like his blood boils because of the classic Elder Scrolls games he
I was going to say,
plays.
that
Like,
definitely helps keep me awake just thinking about this.
So, when are you going to start your Shadowkey streams?
I'm currently working on a setup. Mechafishy is also working on a very interesting contraption that could also possibly play Shadowkey as well. I'm currently working on a little bit of a roundabout thing just to make sure. It was brought to my attention that not Bethesda, but Nokia, or the company that owns Nokia, doesn't like anybody showing any Shadowkey stuff.
What?
That's right. The game from like 1999 or whatever it was, apparently they will hit people with copyright strikes because you're using an emulator.
You've got to be kidding me.
And that's what I've been told.
Have you tried pointing your webcam at the Engage screen?
So what I'm going to do is actually, I need to basically just show proof that I legally own the game. I own an Engage, and I have a way to route it into my computer, and i.e. emulator not needed. Well, okay, there's like, I'm showing that I am playing this. I might just need to make sure that that's visibly apparent before I start each stream so that they don't think I'm using, like, oh, here's my way of showing I'm not using an illegal emulator. Basically, I need to prove, because the default way that it would work would be an emulator, which they're not okay with. So it's like, okay, I need to start each stream proving I'm actually playing Shadowkey.
Yeah.
So here's an idea to make it easier. Just plug something into your Engage where you don't see where the cord is, run it through an emulator, screen capture your emulator, and just play it where you can actively see the Engage. Yeah. And like show that. So like you're not necessarily trying to route the Engage through a daisy chained Elgato setup, because you actively own both things. So it is completely legal for you to run it through an emulator.
Right.
And if you have just a cord plugged in, Nokia's not going to know that you're not running it through.
No, and I will gladly go on record saying, screw you, Nokia owner, whoever that actually is tagging anybody with the 11 people who played your game originally. Like, look, this is more publicity than you've ever gotten from anybody who's doing this. Like,
or just like, I'm really curious if the webcam can actually pick up the Engage screen properly.
Not well. Not that I've tried. Okay, I totally tried. It's very reflective. The screen is aggressively shiny.
Oh, okay.
No,
so maybe you need a HDR webcam like
interesting. I wonder why they would care, since it's their own thing. That's interesting. Somebody ought to talk to that division of Microsoft and be like, yo, what are you doing?
I don't think Nokia is owned by Microsoft. Nokia is owned by Microsoft?
That's what Isha
when
says.
did that happen?
I do know that they were bought out, but I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, all the Windows phones were Nokias, or a lot of them.
Interesting.
I think HTC might have made a Windows phone too.
But either way, the idea is,
if that's the case,
to get this up and running
we just gotta contact Phil Spencer. We just gotta call Uncle Pete first. And Uncle Pete will call Uncle Spencer, Uncle Phil, and then he's gonna call Bill Gates, and Bill Gates gonna call whoever designed Engage and is throwing these copyrights there, and gonna be like, look, it's Bethesda now, it's just no longer needed.
Care.
It's no longer copyright.
Everybody really enjoys this one sod who just plays these games and is miserable about it. To be fair, though,
and then we are gonna send a box of chocolates to Finn just to be sure. Because we don't
you
know
have legitimately
where his power reaches.
You have legitimately sold copies of Arena and Battlespire with your streams.
Yes,
let's be
the
honest.
amount of people who have messaged me that they were like, look, I couldn't play this game for more than 7 minutes, but I tried this because of you. Same thing, Battlespire. I wish I knew what the sales of Battlespire were prior and now, because it's just like, so many people were like, look, I got it to try it out because I figured, how could it be that bad? And I immediately stopped playing it because it's way worse than I could have imagined. And it didn't even look as bad as I thought it did on your stream. They're like, the controls don't make any sense. I'm like, nothing about it makes sense. It's crap. Like,
look, I bet if they found an original stock, like somewhere laying around in a storage somewhere in Nokia headquarters or something, an original stock of Engage, and you stream Shadowkey, they can sell Engage. Hell, I will buy an Engage if I could find one, because as a kid, I really wanted an Engage.
And then I bought a PC. So,
or rather,
also,
we pooled money with my brother, and then our parents bought a PC, technically. But
we're still working on, because scheduling is hard, as we all know. Still working on our big combination episode where it will be a group stream for Battlespire multiplayer. I have it locked down. I want to make sure there's plenty of us that can do it, but scheduling, like I said, is difficult. So organizing everybody together so that we have people for it is a little challenging, but we'll definitely get it together, and I'll let everybody know when we do that multiplayer stream, if we can even get it running. And the other thing, just on the Engage note before we sign off, one thing that I do hope that we have happen again, if there is another Elder Scrolls convention at some point, is TES Benefactor has an Engage with a copy of Shadowkey as well. And technically, the Engages have Bluetooth technology, and you can co-op Shadowkey. And we said if we ever get to meet up in person again, we're going to co-op Shadowkey at whatever the place is.
Oh my god.
What?
We just broke Arch's brain.
That sounds both amazing and like a train wreck waiting to happen, to be honest.
Engage is from
the only other...
2006?
You're like the only other person I know that has this. He was like, dude, if we ever meet up again, he's like, we got to do this. We both got to bring our Engages. We got to link it, and everybody can just take a look at what kind of travesty this is. I was like, I'm so on board.
Multiplayer co-op on mobile shouldn't be possible at 2006-7. That wasn't a thing. What the? What? My childhood was an absolute lie. What?
So on that note, we put Ark into a spiral, and
I don't like this. When was Engage was released? Engage released
2003, maybe?
Yeah, 2003.
Yeah.
Dude, this device is not supposed to have multiplayer co-op over Bluetooth? Who coded that?
Don't know. I don't know, and I can't imagine who would be like, this'll work.
I am very confused. My entire technological chronology in my brain just went upside down. I'm not happy with this.
See?
I'm questioning everything.
I might not be
now.
suffering this episode, but take that, Ark.
Because at some point, like on one side, during like 2003, way after multiplayer games became a massive thing, so it's a common thing. But co-op on a mobile phone over Bluetooth at 2003 doesn't make any sense.
Right? Yeah.
So.
Look, Shadowkey has a zillion issues from back when I played it off stream. Don't get me wrong, it's quite a thing, but you can't knock him from not at least being ambitious.
Yeah. All right. Well, final thoughts. I am done with this episode. It's
there you go. Boom.
Not happy.
All done.
Not happy. Now I want to engage.
And we end on Shadowkey co-op via Bluetooth.
Now I want to engage. You know what? Nokia Engage. There's got to be someone selling it in Turkey, okay?
I'm telling you, man.
There
Nokia,
we go.
relax.
How much is this?
I'll be here all week selling stuff.
Over $100? Screw you, random person.
Oh, man, yeah.
Is this... Wait. Dude, I am tempted. This is the stupidest thing that I'm tempted to buy.
This is why you don't prevent streamers from streaming your things. Listen up, corporations.
Symbian OS, I remembered it. Oh my god. Dude,
I know Final Fantasy is weird about you streaming stuff too.
Nintendo's notorious for it as well.
Yeah, they will charge you.
The ad for the Engage that I'm looking at right now was posted 15 days ago. And it's the only one that is in existence in Turkey, at least in the ads Turkey? That I'm seeing.
Yeah, in the ads, right?
Like, what? Oh man, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Well, even if I get the Engage, I doubt I can find the game in Turkey.
Shadowkey is not cheap.
No way. I might actually be able to find like Tomb Raider that I really wanted as a kid, but Shadowkey, I don't think so.
Yeah, Shadowkey is a rare game with a lot of value.
Yeah. How much did you pay for it?
I believe it was $90.
Yeah, sounds about right.
90 or 100. It was around $100. I mean, granted, it was in mint condition, but yeah.
Oh, man. There was an unused, unopened Engage for like $50 that was sold last month.
No!
For real? I would have bought this. 100%. After everything you told, I would have bought this.
Step right up and get your Engages.
For $50, dude. Less than $50. And it's like, oh man. Within its box and everything. Probably has a game with it too. I can't see the image very well, but oh man. You know, now I'm gonna be on the lookout for a freaking Engage. Yeah. It's like,
good luck going to sleep now. He's gonna spend all night Googling Engages.
Engage. Nokia. Alright, so that brings us to the end. I mean, we said it's like we didn't hit an hour and a half mark, and then just went on rambling.
I know, and then we got into the
so.
Engage discussion.
Yeah.
So there you go. You're over the thing because of an Engage tangent to end it.
That brings us to the end of the show. Again, next week show, we are going to be recording pretty much right after QuakeCon, if everyone is available, if our schedules hit up. So, hopefully that's going to be a decent news-filled episode. If not, we'll see, And after that, I think Waking Flame releases before our two next episodes. So, we are going to have our theory crafting with the new sets. We are gonna have our dungeon tales, our hard mode attempts, and everything like that comes with the new DLC. So stay tuned for those. Pixie, where can people find you and all the things that you do?
Well, you can find me at twitch.tv/HyperPixie Gaming and on Twitter at HyperPixie Games. And here, at the same time as the Waking Flame DLC is released, I'm going to be doing my 3rd streamiversary and doing a whole bunch of giveaways at the same time as that. And I've got some fun things planned for you guys.
There you go. Remember, folks, Pixie is a stream team member, so she does have codes and everything to give away. So check her out. Lotus, what about you?
I am LotusOfDoom on Twitter and Twitch, as well as I record the Elder Scrolls Lorecast on Thursdays over at Robots Radio. And that's pretty much it. I don't have anything scheduled right yet, but with all the stuff coming up, I hope to maybe stream during QuakeCon or something like that, and the new dungeons coming up. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll be around, and shoot me something if you need to get a hold of me.
There you go. And again, as you all know, Lotus is pretty much the only person in existence who streamed classic Elder Scrolls games from start to finish while screaming at his monitor. So good content, check them out. As for everything we do, you can find all of those over at dungeoncrawlernetwork.com. There you can find links to all of our social media, including Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Discord. You can also check out our Patreon at patreon.com/dungeoncrawlernetwork, where you can support us for as little as $3 or go a bit higher to get trees planted in your name and get some sticker packs sent your way physically and get access to some extra content and unedited versions of our pre-shows, post-shows, things like that. And it helps the show going. You can also leave us a 5-star review on iTunes so people know that we are a real podcast, that we say real words, and sometimes it matters. Thank you all so very much for joining on this episode of Tales of Tamriel, and we will see you all next time. Let us listen to the Wandering Bard's amazing cover of Red Diamond.
Bye, everybody.
See you later.
When Akatosh slew Lorcan, he ripped his heart right out. He hurled it across Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout, Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout on Seer it fell, and like a dart shot to its mark down in an alien well. Magicka fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to chimel at a ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nirn to men, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. Red diamond, protect us till the end.